Today we are finally taking Lil Ugly November 9477 Alpha up to Artcraft Paint in Santa Maria to get a fresh paint job and interior. We're in Camarillo right now. We're in transient in front of Waypoint Cafe. I got back last night from flying the airplane back from Neal Aviation and I didn't feel like playing Hangar Tetris, so we're out on the ramp. We already flew the plane this morning, so it is ready to go. It's got fuel, oil, it's all pre-flighted, and it's running great with the new panel. You probably want to see the new panel, but I'm going to keep it a secret until all of the upgrades are done so that we can see the final result all together, and I can't wait to share that with you, so let's get going and get this airplane painted. Alright, that was a very loud helicopter, so bear with me. Doors locked. So all of our circuit breakers are in, electrical switches are all off. Mixture's rich, carb heat's off, everything is off. Bags are on. Clear! Alright, let's lean it out a little bit, get some ATIS, and get going out of here.
Camarillo Tower, information Yankee, time 1555 Zulu, wind calm, visibility 8, sky clear.
Camarillo ground Cessna 90477 Alpha at the restaurant with Yankee, ready to taxi for a northwestbound departure.
90477 Alpha Camarillo ground, runway 26, taxi via Golf 2 Golf Alpha.
26 via Golf 2 Golf Alpha, 90477 Alpha.
To confirm you have Yankee?
We have Yankee 77 Alpha. Block VFR. Alright, so we are heading up to Santa Maria, California this morning. It'll take us about an hour and 10 minutes to get there. It's a super nice morning out. We'll have a slight headwind. And we are heading up there to go to Artcraft Paint to get a nice new paint job and interior as well on the 140. If you saw my last video, we just finished a panel upgrade on 77 Alpha at Neal Aviation with all Garmin avionics. It looks absolutely amazing, and it complements the Bonanza so well. I think it just looks so good, but I'm only going to give you guys little sneak peeks here and there until everything is done and completed so that everything looks really cohesive and nice together and everything really shines. The doors are shut, fuel's on both, flight controls.
215, Camarillo Tower, left close traffic approved, runway 26, clear for takeoff.
Mixture's gonna come rich. We'll do our mag check. Looks good. Carb heat check. Oil time and pressure both in the green. Amperage is good. And again, I'm not showing you guys the panel, so I do not have the back camera running. I just have the wing and the camera in front of my face, obviously. So you get to look at me and me again the entire time. Who doesn't love that, right? All right, doors are good. Gas is on both. Undercarriage we don't have. Lights will turn on. Mixture we're going to bring full rich when we go on the runway. And seatbelts are adjusted and locked, and yaw damp we also don't have. So we'll tell ground that we are ready. Ground Cessna 90477 Alpha, round up complete.
Number 90477 Alpha, taxi up to the hold short line, changing my frequency 128.2.
Taxi to hold short and change to 128.2, 9477 Alpha. Nav lights are coming on. Nav's in
Number 90477 Alpha, Camarillo Tower, you up and ready?
Affirm 77 Alpha.
77 Alpha, right cross one approved, runway 26, clear for takeoff, traffic, mile-and-a-half final Cessna.
Right cross when approved, runway 26, clear for takeoff, 9477 Alpha. Alright, mixture's coming rich. Lights are on. Y'all ready? Because I'm ready. Last flight and Lil Ugly looking ugly on the outside. We're going to approach Cessna 90477 Alpha VFR request.
Stand by, ma'am, I'll get right back to you. And there was a female I had stand by about a minute ago. What is your request, ma'am, and call sign?
November 90477 Alpha, just at Sataquay Bridge, looking for flight following to Santa Maria at 4,500, and we are a Cessna 140.
9477 Alpha, squawk 4726.
4726, 9477 Alpha.
November 77 Alpha, radar contact 5 northeast of the harbor at 2,800.
Position altitude checks, 9477 Alpha. So excited.
November 3 Charlie Alpha.
Just passing 3,700, so almost to our cruising altitude. We're doing 70 knots ground speed. We're still climbing. We got 500 feet to go, but, well, it's a beautiful day to fly. This is one of the first sunny days that SoCal has had in the past 2 months. Yesterday was actually the first sunny day. My Garmin 375, it says that we are 51 minutes away, so we should get there pretty quick. So we took off, we went to Sataquay Bridge, which is a visual reporting point, then we're going direct to Gaviota VOR, and then we're going to go direct to Santa Maria from there. Gaviota VOR is just one of the VORs that makes it nice and easy to cross the mountains by Santa Barbara. There's a ton of surfers out. So cool. It's nice being in a high wing. You get to actually see like what's, you know, down there. Honestly, the Bonanza has pretty good visibility, but not as good as this downwards, at least. Upwards.
Number 77 Alpha, contact Santa Barbara approach 125.4. Good day, ma'am.
125.4, 9477 Alpha. Have a good one.
2.
Santa Barbara approach, good morning. Cessna 90477 Alpha, 4,500.
Number 9477 Alpha.
Affirm 9477 Alpha.
Number 9477 Alpha, Santa Barbara approach, the altimeter 2999.
2999, 9477 Alpha. The ocean is so blue today. So nice out. Okay, now we're doing 86 knots over the ground. We're doing 95 miles an hour indicated, so not too shabby for the little 140. Still faster than the traffic on the highway, so I bought this airplane for a reason, and it's to go slow, so I can't complain about going slow. So we're taking the airplane up to get paint and interior by Artcraft, but this is not the, beginning of this process by any means. I have been working with Artcraft as well as a designer to come up with the perfect paint job, interior colors, options, even the color for the panel we decided at Artcraft. As you guys know, I love to maintain like the classic retro feel. So I worked with Robert, and his designing company is called Flightlines, and we worked together to come up with the perfect paint scheme for my Cessna 140A. So there were kind of two questions in mind when coming up with the paint job. The first was the actual design itself, and the second was what colors to use. So I knew I wanted the airplane to be blue and white, but I wanted a specific blue. So when I went up to Artcraft to visit to pick out interior colors and tour the facility, we also picked out paint colors, and I specifically wanted to do a white base with University of Michigan blue. I wanted to pick a color that would be special to me in some way and still look good, so not do anything crazy. I started flying in Michigan when I was at University of Michigan, and I learned to fly at this flying club, Michigan Flyers. So University of Michigan is just really important to me, and I knew that I wanted to do some shade of like darker blue, so I thought, why not use the exact color that University of Michigan uses? So when I was up at Artcraft, I actually told them this, and they said, oh, we've actually painted several airplanes University of Michigan blue before, like blue and maize and blue. Actually, I'm not going anywhere with the maize. I just want the navy blue. Sorry. Call me a fake fan for not wanting to do maize and blue and just do the blue, but you know what? I don't care. Maize is not really my color. It never has been since I went there, so we'll stick with just the blue. So they actually had the color code ready to go. I took the paint colors outside, got to look at them in the light, and everything looked great. So then I went to Robert at Flightlines and told him the color codes that I wanted, and it was time to pick out a scheme that I wanted for the paint. I knew that I wanted to stick with something pretty much close to factory. I looked up a lot of different vintage Cessna 140 paint schemes and newer ones just because I wanted to see what was out there, get some ideas. So he took the photos I sent and came up with a ton of options of different paint schemes that I could use. And when he sent me back all the options, I liked different bits and pieces from each design. So Robert at Flightlines took all the little bits and pieces that I liked from each of the designs he gave me and combined them into the perfect design for 77 Alpha. We're just passing Santa Barbara, we just passed the harbor, and we're coming up on the airport. Just under 30 minutes to go. I wish you guys could look at the panel. It's amazing, but for now you'll just have to listen to me tell you how amazing it is, because I really do want to save it so that you can see everything together. We chose like a tan color for the panel, and these side panels will also be painted tan, but the rest of the interior is obviously still this like gray color, so it honestly, it looks really good on its own, but it looks super out of place with the rest of the airplane right now, but that will change soon in like a month, so just be patient with me, and I promise it'll be worth it to wait until you can see everything together. So we're past Santa Barbara, still at 4,500, still going 88 knots over the ground, and we're coming up on Gaviota VOR. But only 25 minutes to go. It's really, Santa Maria is nice. You know, San Diego, Gillespie Field, where Neal Aviation is pretty close to Camarillo, at least flying-wise, but I can't drive there. Whereas Santa Maria, I can actually hop in my car and be up there in like an hour and a half, which is awesome because I'll be able to go and get so much footage of the paint and interior process, which I'm so excited to see because I have no idea what goes on during paint and interior work. I'm super excited to just be able to drive up. It's so close. I've never landed at Santa Maria before. I've driven there, obviously, to visit Artcraft Paint.
77 Alpha, contact approach 124.15.
124.15, 9477 Alpha. Santa Barbara approach, good morning, Cessna 90477 Alpha, 4,500.
Cessna 90477 Alpha, Santa Barbara approach, Santa Maria, wind 300 at Niner, altimeter 3002.
3002, 9477 Alpha. Right down the runway. Okay, so my GPS says we have 12 minutes to go, about 20 miles, and I still can't pick up the weather, it seems like, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah, we can't pick it up yet. That's okay. So close.
3002.
There we go.
Confirmation Alpha 1651 Zulu, wind 290 at 9, visibility 10. Sky clear.
Approach Cessna 90477 Alpha has information Alpha at Santa Maria, and we are starting a VFR descent.
Cessna 77 Alpha, roger, contact Santa Maria Tower 118.3. Have a good day.
118.3, 9477 Alpha, you too. We'll start a little descent here too. Santa Maria Tower, Cessna 90477 Alpha, 12 miles to the south with Alpha, inbound full stop.
November 9477 Alpha, Santa Maria Tower, make straight in, runway 30 for the 3-mile final, and say again your type aircraft.
Straight in 30, we'll report a 3-mile final, and we are a Cessna 140, 9477 Alpha.
Thanks.
Okay, so we got our lights on. We'll bring our mixture back in as we come in here. We can always go around. Just put the visual approach into my 375. It gives you like a little extended center line to follow, which is nice. We're on both. We've got fuel in both of our tanks. Gear we don't have. Mixture we'll bring full rich. Prop we don't have to adjust, and seatbelts are good. And yawning we don't have as well. Very simple. That's why I like it. It's simple until you have to land in a crosswind. Then you're like, why did I do this to myself? We're going to 3-point it in. It's right down the runway, so we'll get a nice 3-point landing. Pull the carbine on. 77 Alpha is on a 3-mile final for runway 30.
Cessna 7 Alpha, runway 30, clear to land.
30 clear to land, 9477 Alpha. And get slow, get some flaps in. I remember straight-in approaches being so hard as a student because you can't base your like flap input and carb heat and power settings on the pattern itself. It's a lot of like judging distance and trying to plan things out correctly. Flying the 140 reminds me a lot of learning to fly the Cessna 152 for sure. There's ridge lights are on, carb heat's on, flaps are in. Oh my goodness. Trying to descend though. There's the sink. Power's out. Just glide her down. .77 Alpha is going to Artcraft paint.
So 774, turn right on Alpha 6, then straight ahead to Romeo and monitor ground point 9er.
Right on Alpha 6 and straight ahead to Romeo and monitor ground point 9er, 9477 Alpha. Have a great day. It's coming down. Oh my goodness, we're here. Ground point 9er's in. Alright, let's just stop for a second, lean out our mixture. We are truly monitoring ground point 9er. Monitoring ground point 9er and straight ahead. Sweet. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this short but sweet flight without being able to see the panel, and I am so excited to be at Artcraft. So we're gonna pull up here, shut down, and get started. I'm so excited.
We are back at Artcraft Paint, and it's only been 3 days since we dropped the airplane off, and so much has happened, and I'm super excited to show you guys what's been going on. After I dropped the airplane off, Artcraft quickly got to work on what is called the incoming inspection. During the incoming inspection, Artcraft's mechanics look for anything wrong with the airplane, any safety of flight issues, and basically take inventory of any existing damage, so dents, corrosion, anything like that, and there were a lot of dents on my airplane. But it's fine, they're gonna fix all of them. After that, they got to work removing all of the flight controls and any panels that needed to be removed. They took the cowling off and they prepped the airplane for paint stripper. Prepping the airplane for paint involves putting plastic around all of the landing gear and the engine area as well as the windows. And it also involves putting aluminum tape along all of the seams on the airplane because those areas we don't want paint stripper on, and they actually hand grind the paint off of those areas after the paint stripper is done working. They also got to work on the interior and completely tore apart the seats and started designing what will be my new interior that's getting put in with all of the new leather and everything that we selected on my first visit here. We're trying to keep the interior just as vintage as the airplane and the panel, so we went through a couple iterations of different detailing we wanted, especially on the seat back, to make the seats not only look vintage but also be super comfortable. The back seat of the 140 is a bench seat while the bottoms of the seats are actually separate, so it was kind of a design challenge, but the team here is super talented and quickly came up with a couple good solutions, and I got to pick my favorite. Right now I am in Artcraft's paint booth hangar, and I can't wait to show you what the 140 looks like right now. Let's take a look. So as you can see, I think this is probably the ugliest my airplane is ever going to be. Artcraft applied the paint stripper at 5 in the morning today, and it's about 2 p.m. now, so it's been 9 hours since they applied the paint stripper, and as you can see, it has quickly started working on the airplane. A lot of the paint is drooping off of the wings already. All of the flight controls look absolutely crunchy. The airplane is quickly becoming bare aluminum, which is super exciting to see. This is super dramatic. I love seeing stuff like this. Before they put the paint stripper on, Artcraft was telling me that some airplanes have a harder time with the paint stripper because they have enamel-based paint, so what will happen is it requires multiple coats of paint stripper, but my airplane luckily did not have that problem, and it is working very fast and very well. I just want to touch it. I won't. Look at it. Today is July 5th, hence my very festive hat here, and we are back at Artcraft, and as you can see behind me, they have been up to a lot since we were last here to visit. After the airplane was paint stripped, it was time to prep it for paint. And this involved doing a lot of body work to the airplane. I'm not talking like 10 hours or 15 hours, I'm talking like 50 hours of body work. There were a lot of dents that have accumulated over the past 70 years that this airplane has been in existence, and I think it has only had body work done to it maybe once in its history. There was some existing Bondo that they had to remove and redo, but other than that, it needed a lot, but it is nice and smooth now almost everywhere, and they took special care with the flight controls to make sure that nothing was overweight, and it is going to look so good once a fresh coat of paint is over the top. The airplane is completely prepped for primer, which is going to start tomorrow morning. They'll be doing the flight controls, the cowling, the whole airplane. All of the flight controls are behind me hanging up on these little racks here. My airplane does have wheel pants. They are getting painted. They just were not installed on the airplane before because the airplane has too big of tires for the wheel pants. So we're gonna get new tires. The wheel pants are gonna go on. The wheel pants really do complete the design that Robert at Flightlines created for this airplane. It's like wearing heels with a cute dress. Like you need the heels, right? Once they're all painted and we have the right size tires for the wheel pants to go on, I think it's gonna look awesome. Plus, I can't complain about getting a couple extra knots in flight. We've had a couple things come up where we've needed to find parts for the airplane, and that proves to be a bit of a challenge when your airplane is over 70 years old. And the Artcraft team has been amazing at basically finding these parts before I even know about the problem and having things all solved and figured out the minute they come up. The airplane is completely ready for paint, and that starts tomorrow. So excited!